Hey everybody, random live stream. Honestly, it's because I'm procrastinating. Should be going to the gym right now, but I don't know. Trying to get myself out of doing things that I don't enjoy doing. But I wanted to just check in with you guys. I think sometimes it's really nice just to do a one-off Q&A, so anything you guys would like to know about, please let me know in the chat. I'm very excited because we are doing. Which way do I point? That way? That way. Okay, everybody see? We're doing 2 live Q&A MFA chats. All you have to do is buy our MFA ebook today through Thursday. You've got 4 days to buy this MFA ebook. And if you do, you will get access to 2 live Q&A chats about MFA programs. And if you already bought our MFA ebook, you can come to one of these live chats for a fee. Tell me in the comments, everybody, what's the last art supply you touched? I don't know if this counts, but I'm kind of in love with my dry erase board right now. And actually, I'm very excited because I'm going to try these very soon. These are the So Flat Golden Matte Acrylic Paints. I think that's going to be really fun to try out because I think it's sort of similar to Flash paint, which is a beautiful vinyl-based paint, and we do have a stream about that. But one thing that I am doing tomorrow is we are doing an art club live stream, and it's going to be about these paint markers that I have never used before. Has anybody tried these before? Arts acrylic markers. My understanding is that they're like paint markers, but the thing is, when I opened the box, they look super pointy. And I guess I always associate paint markers as being not so refined, but who knows? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But tell me in the comments, do you have any favorite markers? Do you have markers you'd like to try? I feel like I've barely touched the surface when it comes to the Posca markers. I've used a few, but not really that much. And I am going to put into the Discord the link for this because some people in Discord might want to take a look. How many people here are in the Discord? Because that's where the party is. I always tell people that most of my time I spend in the Discord, and that is the place to really talk with us. Let's see what's happening in the comments. Hi, Nancy. Oh, you love them, the Arts acrylic markers, because they are brush markers. Just forgot I had them. Yeah, and actually, everybody, I think it would be fun maybe in a little bit to show off some of the activity that's happening in the Discord because people are doing really fantastic work on the Art Dare, which is this time to make artwork that is no bigger than 2 inches by 2 inches. Hey, 10,000 Crows, acrylic painting. What brand are you using? Because I had no idea just how many acrylic paint types there were. I'd never heard of fluid acrylic. Now I'm finding out there's high flow, and heavy body was the only acrylic type that I ever knew about. And I hated it. I am not a fan of heavy body because of the way I paint. I'm a very thin painter. And so when I found out about fluid acrylics and then the matte medium, anyway, now's your chance. Ask me anything, whatever's on your mind. And if you are thinking about an MFA, now, God, I can't point the right way. There. Now's the time to get the information about MFA programs because, and I believe this about everything in terms of being an artist, you shouldn't have to do things by yourself. It's hard, it's frustrating, and it's just so much easier when you feel like somebody has your back. Because putting together any portfolio for anything, I don't know anyone who can just, boom, make it and say, yes, this is a portfolio. In fact, my former student, Alex Kiesling, who's been very successful in the illustration world, when I was putting together a portfolio for freelance illustration, he helped me so much. Like my slideshow was so dumb looking and I showed it to him and he's like, no, fix this. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you helped me with that. But it's like that for, I don't know how to point you guys, MFA, MFA programs, portfolios, critiques. It's just very lonely to be an artist all by yourself. In fact, let's take a moment to go into the Discord because I think it would be really fun to show off the community a little bit. And in the meantime, you guys can ask me anything, get me your comments into the chat. The art dares are in here, and this is just so fun to see what people are posting. For example, look at this beautiful rock from Haley. I made this rock art thing, had so much fun with it, but it is hard to work with such a little brush. I think it's so cool that people who are doing the art dare are doing 3D pieces because we also have Lisa who experimented with combined shapes. The red highlights are from a flashlight and red plastic. I want to know, Lisa, how you did the texture. I mean, it really looks like a mushroom fungus or something. I just love that texture. Oh, 10,000 Crows. You got tiny 2x2-inch canvases for the art dare. Well, I hope that you can post that in the Discord, 10,000, because that would be so fun to see. Courtney says, looking forward to learning about the new, to me, art supplies. Every time I think, okay, I've tried a bunch of things, somebody else is like, oh, have you tried this brand? I'm like, no. And I'm glad that I can help you guys out in terms of finding out about different art supplies. The art dare was breakfast last month, Anna, to be clear, and we will be doing a stream on that later this month. But look at how fun this is. So this is Cathio Arts a Lot. And I've seen a bunch of people do this where they make a grid and then they can paint several paintings at the same time. Oh my gosh, look at these. These are by Lisa. This is Tripod. The gray thing is the 3D printed thing to verify the piece is within the size limit. Isn't that just brilliant? People are doing so many great formatting to make sure that they stay within the size. Here is one from Dana B. And I love seeing the variety of these images. Really beautiful, delicate brush quality. And I love how impressionistic some of these are. This is from Moss. I like what painting this small does to my brushstrokes. Oh, I know. It's like you have to learn a completely different language in terms of painting on that scale. This month, it's 2-inch by 2-inch artwork, tiny art. Today's just a one-off. I just am like majorly procrastinating. I'm like, I should go to the gym, but oh, I should just get on the live. Like you could justify anything. Oh, and these are more marker drawings from Dana. And we also have Butter, who is making boxes. Oh, this is going to be really fun, Butter, to see what this turns into. Fantastic work in there, everybody. So I think I saw a question from Brandon. And if you guys have a question, type question in all caps so I can answer it. Sometimes I will miss the question, but if I do, just post it again. That's no problem. Brandon says, I've been watching a lot of motivational videos. It's helped me draw daily, but I worry if it's bad to have external daily motivation rather than internal. If that were the case, that would mean my whole life was bad. I don't think anybody can rely entirely on internal motivation. For me, it's like 99% is from, well, maybe not 99, a lot, at least half is from what's happening around me. And one thing that I've talked to a lot of you about is just how lonely being an artist can be. Because to do art, a lot of us do sit in our workspaces by ourselves. God, I can't stand it when my family's around. I want to make art. Like, I need to like shut the door. But the consequence of that is I think sometimes it makes us think, oh, that's the way artists live. We shut ourselves in a room and we make stuff. But I'll tell you, Brendan, the thing that is the perfect antidote to all of these things that we're talking about is to learn in a group. Because when you learn in a group, you just have constant validation when you want it. And I think that's the thing that is very difficult for a lot of people, is trying to work entirely by themselves. Who here, raise your hand, you feel like you're going a little crazy when you spend a lot of time by yourself. And then when I go hang out with other people, it's like this huge weight off my shoulders. Yes, there are other people out there like me who are thinking similar thoughts. There are people who will talk for days on end about micron pens. And I think for a lot of people, they don't realize, maybe because they haven't had the experience, that learning in a group faster and easier. I think learning by yourself is very difficult. Tell me in the comments, how many of you guys here are learning all by yourself? How many of you guys here have learned in a group setting? Our best learning space is Art Club. Art Club is a wonderful group of artists that we have in the Discord, and we have lots of live voice chats. We have YouTube live streams just for Art Club. I'm very available in Art Club. I spend most of my time there, and I really get to know people. It really is a lovely community. So, I mean, I feel selfish that I enjoy it because I get to share my stuff, and then I feel not so crazy. And this is absolutely, out of everything we offer, the best bang for your buck. Neil says, can you all recommend artists that are similar to my style and theme? I paint warm domestic scenes realistically. I'm thinking Lauren Welch and Happy Edward Hopper. Yeah, sometimes he's not so happy. Sometimes a little somber and a tinge of isolation. That's great. Domestic scenes. I have to think about it. Honestly, it's the end of the day and my brain is just bleh, because Monday is always a very heavy day for me administratively. And so that's why I was like, oh, I want to just like come on and just talk and not do any more spreadsheets or anything like that. You could post it in general chat in the Discord, Neil. Maybe my brain will be a little less fried. And of course, if people here have suggestions for different types of artists, that's the other thing. It's like when you learn in a group, you're not relying on just yourself to figure things out. Like, we'll come into an art club channel. There's been this really intense, fantastic convo in there about dip pens and micron pens, and it's wonderful. And so you can just pop in and say, I don't get why my micron pen does this. And then boom, you got answers. Because Neil, I don't know if it was you, but people ask me all the time, how do I learn faster? And my answer is you can't learn faster, but you can get answers faster. And that is a big difference for people. Nancy's asking, we're in the Discord to post something about our recent art supply. It depends on what you're asking. For example, if you want to come into a general chat, people post all kinds of things here. Like, for example, you guys, look at this. Okay, Buddy, usually he sits like next to the drawing. Like yesterday, he like put his whole body on top of my drawing. And I'm doing this on the live stream this Friday. I started this drawing on an art club live stream. Like, look at this. His whole freaking body is on this. And then, look at this. It's like all smudgy. Great. You're my collaborator. But anyway, Nancy, if you want to come into general chat and just say, yes, I got some new art supplies, that is always welcome. But we also, in Art Club, we have an art supplies channel. So that's also another really fun place to go. Oh my gosh. You know, when I figured out, oh, yeah, this is sort of like not normal. Well, it's more an art history thing. But my kids think I'm such a nerd because every movie we watch, I always have to point out, like, if there's a painting in there, I'm like, oh, that's Caravaggio's The Calling of St. Matthew. And my kids are like, what's wrong with you? Is that all you care about? I'm like, yes. But yeah, I could talk about art supplies all day. But let me back up. I think talking about art supplies is extremely important because a lot of art supplies are confusing. Sometimes you buy them and you're like, what's up with this? And then somebody will come in and say, oh, well, you have to do this. Like, there's so many times I have bought art supplies and just used them wrong and then needed somebody to explain it to me. Or for somebody to say, oh, you know something, this brand is better. Or you're having this trouble because of this. And so talking about art supplies, it's not just nerding out. It really is a troubleshooting thing. Like, how many people here have gotten a supply that sort of bewildered you? Like, the one that really bewildered me was those Marabou crayons. We do have a stream on that. And those were weird because I was like, are these oil pastels? But they feel really waxy, but they're soft. And I couldn't figure them out. They were strange. But then I had other people who were more experienced with it, and they gave me some tips. But also, this art club stream that we're doing tomorrow, I never knew about these. Tara in Art Club suggested them, and I never would have bothered to take the time to find out about them. And I'm always really happy when people make those suggestions. I mean, from my point of view, I like testing all those things so you guys don't have to, because who has the money to buy all those brands of oil pastels and try them out? Usually it's better to hear from somebody who's tried all of them, so that way you have the comparison there. Nancy says, I learned a lot via YouTube as a self-taught artist, but have learned the most and grown the most as a member of the Art Prof Discord. Well, it's been so lovely working with you in there, Nancy, and watching your development. And how many people here, just tell us in the chat, would consider yourself a self-taught artist? Because I think the vast majority of people in our Discord are self-taught, because the percentage of people that can go to art school is tiny when you think about the population of people who do art out there are. Brandon says, I've mostly learned how to draw by myself. I actually use these streams as practice to interact with people. Well, I think it'd be really nice for you, Brandon, to join the Discord, because that's like this, but 10 times better. It's really fun to have that ongoing chat, because here it's like you have to wait until I'm actually live. But in the Discord, you don't have to do that. It's pretty much here 24/7. And this is one of my favorite channels, everybody. This is the Show and Tell channel. And a lot of people share really wonderful work. Like this is by Joyce. This is a watercolor painting of a horse. And if you go in here, like this is great for inspiration. Like this is from Oniero's sketchbook for character design. I feel like every time I open this channel, I get to see such different artwork. Like talking to Timo today in art club, and Timo just started doing watercolor, has been getting some tips from other people. This is by Rusty, really cool character with the flowy hair. And look at this beautiful Procreate piece by Little Skunk. I mean, amazing details in there. And here's an animatic. This is from Gap Yap. Oh, wow, this is wonderful. Gosh, I'm just so amazed at people who can do animation. It's so much work, but this is very fluid. Gacky Yap. Yeah, anybody here who's feeling a little lonely or stuck, come to the Discord, join Art Club. These are all places where you're just going to feel so much better. Because you know something? I recently joined Jay Klaus's community to help me with the business end of things. And I'd been having a hard time with a lot of business things. I was really, really struggling. And then I finally joined his community, and it was such a relief. Like, I'm not even talking about all the amazing things that I've improved since I've joined. But when I joined, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting help. Like, I couldn't believe I waited so long to join. And in retrospect, like, why was I just torturing myself trying to figure it out by myself? I mean, it was really dumb that I did that. But that's why when I got into his community, I felt like someone had my back. And just that alone, feeling that support was amazing, because I'd never had that kind of support before with business, because we have a shoestring budget and I can't afford to hire expensive business people and stuff like that. But his particular community really is specifically for online creators. And so everything that he has is like exactly my life. And I'm so glad I joined. I think for a lot of people, that is the experience that they have if they join Art Club or if they join the Discord. It just feels so nice to not feel so alone all the time. Nancy says, what kind of glass do you suggest for the glass palette you made in your video? It doesn't matter. I think you don't need glass that's super thick, but if you're a little accident prone like me, you might want to get one that's a little bit thicker. We have a question from Caro Duro. What's the best type of pastels to use for plexiglass oil? Pastels to use for plexiglass. If you could tell me what it is that you're doing, Caro, are you talking about oil pastels, or are you talking about a palette? Then I can follow up and answer your question. We also have Neil says, I need to stop thinking about supplies, just start making the work. I already have enough of what I need. Yeah, sometimes it's good to put a brakes on the art supplies. I mean, for me, I'm lucky because people have sent me all kinds of supplies, and it's been a huge help because I never would have purchased those supplies on my own. And then you guys get to see the stuff being demonstrated. Audio Cafe says, I used to go to an art school, but then it closed down. Oh my gosh, was that the University of the Arts in Pennsylvania? That was really traumatic for people. It was very abrupt. I mean, that must have been just awful. I felt so bad for the people that had gotten accepted and were planning on enrolling in the fall, but found out about the shutdown. That was so awful. I felt so badly for the people that had to go through that. Hey, Ray, welcome to one of our live streams. So lovely to have you here. XD says, how can I join the Discord chat? Well, if you go down to the video description below, we do have a link. Just look under join our Discord, And if you're already on Discord, there's an invite link there. If you don't have a Discord account, just click on the other link that says join Discord, and then we have step-by-step instructions there. Because the Discord is where it's at, you guys. I mean, I love it here as well, but the Discord is all the time. We have people from all over the world in there, different time zones, and it's the most lovely space. I'm very proud of the community that we've built in Discord. Evelyn says, how do I join the art chat? Are you asking about art club, or are you asking about this chat or the Discord chat? Yeah, let me know and I'll point you in the right direction. Thank you, Anna. I did not pay Anna to say this, by the way. I can confirm that Art Club is fantastic. Definitely cheaper than other crit groups I've been in. Oh, 7A says I've used old glass from broken frames as palettes before. That works great. Well, actually, Mia, she had a broken refrigerator shelf and she used that for a palette. Whatever works. Emily says, I went there too, University of the Arts, and just got the letter in the mail that my student loans were all forgiven. Oh, was that just for University of the Arts? Or was that something else? Wow. Yeah, big changes. I think it wasn't there another art school, San Francisco Art Institute, from like way, way back? This is not recent. I think they also shut down too. And Anna says, I actually like plexiglass palette more for that reason. I'm accident prone and broken plexi won't cut you. Well, yeah, I actually had this question too. Nancy says, does the plexiglass work the same as a regular glass? Yeah, I feel like the plexiglass, I wouldn't be able to scrape as well compared to the glass, but it depends on how you paint. I really like glass, even though I'm very accident prone. Yeah, Evelyn, if you go down to the video description below, that is where you can join our Discord. So everybody sees this. When you join our Discord, you will be showing up here in the introductions channel. Okay, so this is the first place that it will direct you to go when you join our server. And this is always a nice place to go and see new people who are joining. And then we have a lot of fun channels. If you've never been here before, general chat is just a general chat where anybody can come in and have casual talk or anything. And then we also have these are the art club channels that are up here. Art club is a much smaller group than the public Discord. We have over 13,000 members. Isn't that insane? I mean, thank goodness they're not all active. I would die. But anyway, Art Club is really nice because I do audio critiques in there. We have voice chats and everything. But there's a lot you can do in the free parts of the server. We have challenges. There's channels here about art supplies, wellness, business tips. So it's a really fun server to be in. You don't have to be an art club for it to be really fun. Audio Cafe, it was the Memphis College of Art, around since the 1930s, and it closed in 2020. Oh, I didn't hear about that. We all had to transfer except the folks in their last year. Oh, that must have just been heartbreaking. Audio Cafe. I'm so sorry that happened. I mean, hopefully you ended up at a place that was okay for you, but when something gets derailed like that, that is just so difficult. Emily says, I've used plastic Tupperware lids for palettes. Actually, Alex Rowe, who used to be a teaching artist here, he's an incredible gouache painter. He's like, yeah, I used an envelope for a palette once. I was like, oh my God, I'm like so scandalized by that. 10K says, love the piece you posted about postpartum belly on the jagged piece of wood. It's so interesting It made me think about how the medium we choose contributes to the meaning of the piece. Well, actually, that piece is right here. So give me 1 second and I'll pull it up so people can figure out what it is that I am talking about. For once, it's 2 feet away from where I'm sitting. And that never happens. It's always like a good 15 minutes of rummaging before I can find anything. All right. This is the piece that 10,000K is talking about. And you can see the back of it. It's a wood panel made by ampersand. And I don't know if anybody saw me torching this with acetone. Thank God my husband was supervising me. But basically, it's different than the other ones. I mean, there is burning in it, but it's all done with scraping and scratching. God, I can't make this fit very well. Here we go. Yeah, there it is. And that you guys can see it a little bit better. And you know something? I was thinking, oh, this is totally a one-off because it doesn't look like the other ones that I've done. But I don't know. I kind of like it now. I don't know if I like the thing at the top, but maybe I'll do more with this technique because that was really fun. And actually, one of the things that I had a really good time doing was drawing with sandpaper. There's a lot of sections back there that have sandpaper on them. And actually, I'll show you guys the other one because I finally finished this belly button drawing. I was very excited because what I want to do is do a bunch of small ones that each one is a belly button. And I just finished the first one today. All right, so this is the panel. The way I did it is I painted red gouache on the bottom. And then you guys can see up here, that's the fumage. This is all the burning. And this is the one I just finished. I haven't posted it yet, but you guys get to see because you're special. So this is the piece that I just finished. And my idea is I'm going to have a whole bunch of these. Like I'll make 12. And so it'll be a grid of 12 belly buttons. And you know something, you guys, I really feel like I'm figuring myself out. I'm a late bloomer with everything. I know it doesn't seem that way, but I feel like in art school, I don't know, I just felt like there was some inside joke that I didn't understand. I don't know, it didn't make me feel that good. I think I was too obsessed with technique. And so it took me a long time before I really felt like I understood how to engage critically with my subject. Like I was just trying to just paint it realistically. And I think I figured it out in my MFA, but my personal fine arts work, well, I got a little derailed because academia screwed me over and I don't want to do this anymore. And yes, I worked on those portraits for that Utah grant, which I was rejected from, by the way, but that still wasn't like new fine art work. Like I'd made those a long time ago. I was going back into them. So actually, the last time I had a brand new original artwork idea was in 2016. That's when I did those tissue paper portraits. And so these pieces you're seeing with the belly button. Oh, and actually I can show you guys. Oh no, it's not here. Anyway, this is the first like brand new original art that I've made in like 19 years. That's how long it can take. Like I really feel like this is the work I want to make. I don't know. Maybe it's just you get older and you're like, that wasn't so good. You look back at your stuff and you're like, yeah, I could have done better. We also have oh, Anna, you like the frayed edges. I'm a little on the fence about it. I gotta think about it. I think I'd have to do another piece or two before I figure it out. It's just the last one had that because I like burned it way too much. Like I didn't realize the panel was so thin. I thought the panel was going to be a little more rigid. If you guys look at the shorts, you can see what happened. 7A says, love all this burning you've been doing. It's pretty cool. Or should I say hot? Yeah, I love the ampersand products, Nancy. I think they're really, really nicely made. And they sent me a whole bunch of these panels and a couple really big ones, like 36 by 24 that are in my garage. And I am going to burn those. I'm very excited. I haven't worked that big for a really long time. Nancy says, it's a whole thing that happens when turning 49, almost 50, and transitioning after a long career. For real. It's a thing after the yucky stuff. It's just like going on a treasure hunt with a lot of aches. It's like, ow, this hurts, and there's no reason why. Well, tell me in the comments, folks over 50, do you feel like you had some experience like that? Because I'm so excited about these stomach drawings because I had this idea a long, long time ago. This was not a new thing that I experienced. And in fact, I probably have some images of the drawing that was actually the origin for the work that I'm doing. And it's so funny. It's like at the time, it didn't turn into anything. It just was this like one-off drawing that I happened to do at the time. So actually, let me show you guys, because I have a whole bunch of these drawings. Okay, let me find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'll pull it up. So this is a drawing that I did way, way, way back. And the idea behind it was that I wanted to make artwork about my body aging. So I was drawing the parts of my body where I noticed the aging. I know this is a really dumb drawing. It's so stupid looking. And I did this other one. This one was actually about, well, maybe this is too TMI for some of you guys, but it was for getting night sweats, which is what happens when you get older. And so this was just the bed sheet and the wrinkles that would happen. And then I also did some, like this was my neck. This was my forehead. I drew like the 3 white hairs that I had at the time. I have so many more now. Here's a terrible drawing of my feet. And so you guys can see this was done a long time ago and it never turned into anything. It just was like these random drawings and that was kind of it. And I never thought that I was going to come back and revisit these pieces. And then when I started doing more drawings, I realized, you know what? I don't think I want to do the whole body. I think I'm just going to do the postpartum belly. And then people have been sending me incredible reference photos for me to draw from of their bellies. It's incredible that people are sharing this with me because your postpartum stomach, it's not something you show off. It's not like you walk around at the beach showing off your postpartum stomach. But I've been so moved by some of the stories and the images that people are sending me. So if anybody here is interested in sending me some images of your postpartum stomach for me to draw from, you can send me an email. Or if you're in Discord, you can just tell me and I'll have you send it to me via DM or something like that, because it's incredible what people have told me about their story. And so actually this project that I started so long ago, I mean, it really wasn't a project. It was just like random drawings, came back. I was like, I want to do this again. And then it turned into postpartum stomachs. And so that's where the specificity, I think, becomes extremely important. We also have, well, thank you, Aster Disaster. Crispy says, any tips for submitting work to a juried show? I'm planning on submitting a piece to an exhibition I got into last year, But this year will be my first time not submitting through my school. Yeah, we do have a video that we did recently. It was me and Lauren, and it was about how to apply for open calls. It's on our YouTube under the live videos. So let me show that to you guys. So Crispy, if you go here, open calls for artists, we go over all of those things because there's a lot of confusion about exhibitions, which ones are a ripoff, which ones are not. What I tell people is if you're not sure, come into the Discord and ask us, because I mean, I tell people to do that when they get some fishy message and they're not sure. Don't reply. Just ask us, because we have tons of experience helping people with that. And that's why, again, it's great to be in the Discord, because you can just pop in and ask us that question. Otherwise, it's like some of them are really sneaky, and you don't know until you've learned to identify the things that are big red flags. Fumage, movie posters, Bradbury. I know. The answer is that you can't do all of them. And I think I'm a good example of how sometimes your brain wanders and you're like, I'm going to do this thing. And then you don't. Like, how many people have done that? Where you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make movie posters. And then like 2 months later, you're not doing it. How many people have done that? I mean, I feel kind of dumb doing that because I feel like it makes me look like a flake, but that's just the way it is. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. But it's like things come in waves. But you know something, you guys? It was the zombie drawings that led me to the postpartum stomachs. Isn't that nuts? Like these silly zombie fumage drawings that I was doing are what got me to figure out the technique for the postpartum stomach. So it was like this perfect storm, because I was revisiting a series on aging. It turned into the stomachs. And then I had developed through all those zombie drawings how to do the technique. And sometimes that's just the way things go. Slepnir says, are you going to have a header in? Oh, how does that pun work? Maybe I'm reading this too late, but I don't know. It's probably not fun to explain a pun, but we love your puns, Slepnir. Yes, I am proudly Gen X. Aren't we supposed to be the generation that no one cares about? So Slepnir says, do you think, oh, okay. You have a new header in Discord called panel discussion. It would help direct the talk. Just a thought. We do have one. Well, I'll show you guys what's going on and what to look for, because we do have a category here. You see this, live streams and events. So for example, when there's an art along, you guys can post here. We do have this channel here for live discussions, but I haven't been using it on the live streams. Usually we would have a discussion afterwards. I can't, because I have to feed my family after today's live stream. But you could post things here, like later on, if you want to refer to something that I talked about, you can do that. Or you can also post in general as well. Well, this is bad. I think you guys have thoroughly convinced me that I should not go to the gym, because now there are 50 people here and now I feel obligated to stick around. It's okay. I went to the gym yesterday, so I feel a little bit better about that. Plus, oh my God, you guys, I have so much work. Although I did finish editing a video today. I was extremely proud. Patty the Fly, I'm 49, switching from working as a tool maker to being an artist again. I dropped being at 20 years old. Oh, that's so exciting, Patty the Fly. Wandering Kathy says, what separates fine art from other art you make? Is it how idea-driven it is, the originality, how much effort and care goes into the execution? Yeah, in this particular case, the postpartum stomachs, I do have a goal for those. I have a destination. that I want them to arrive in, which is a New York City, Los Angeles gallery, a very shishi, swanky one is what I'm after. And so for these pieces, I go into it saying, I'm going to make a finished piece. Same thing with the other ones. Now, when I was doing the zombie drawings, I was just playing around. It's like, what if I do this? Rick Grimes from Walking Dead is really hot. I want to draw him. And those are just the whatever drawings. Demos are different. If I do a draw along here, I do that piece for that reason. Once in a while, I'll go back and maybe pick it up again, but usually not. And the main thing is the concept part. For example, if I am on a live stream and I'm demonstrating how to use those arts paint markers, which, by the way, I'm doing this on an art club that I don't want to be bothered by having to think about what the subject is. And I also don't really want to do my personal fine art stuff on a live stream because I really have to focus. On a live stream, obviously, I'm very distracted. I'm trying to explain things. I'm answering comments. That's usually not something I can do when I'm doing the fine artwork. So some of it is the effort and the care. I spend a long time on the personal work. Demos, sometimes I'm done after about an hour and a half. So I think a lot of it has to do with what is the purpose of the artwork serving? Is it, I just want to practice gesture drawing. I don't care about the product. Or is it, yes, I'm making a body of work. I'm going to be presenting this to New York City galleries or something like that. But it's a great question. I'm curious to hear what other people think about. Do you have a destination planned in advance for the work you make? Or do you make it and then figure it out later? Or is it just yeah, whatever? Because there has to be some amount of yeah, whatever when you're an artist. You can't always want to finish everything. I would go insane if I put that pressure on myself. And so I always try to make sure there are pockets for play and experimentation that are separate from that fine arts work. Oh, not a dumb question. It's a great question, Kathy. Alex says, love how your sketches on paper turn into large-scale projects. I'm a little bit ridiculous in terms of the amount of preparatory work that I do. I probably spend more time on the preparatory work than the finished artwork, but that's just because I don't like experimenting when I'm working on a big piece that I'm trying to finish. It's just such a pain to have to redo things a lot. I need to have a pretty good sense of what I'm after. Although the one with the torn wood stuff, that one really was okay, whatever. I burned it too much. Let's try this. This one, I had a plan for this. I knew exactly what I was going to do. So the planning thing, some people love it. I know some artists, they don't plan anything. It's totally spontaneous. It depends on the person. And Team Squirrel, what is the squirrel thing? I think I missed that conversation. Brandon's asking, how do you deal becoming complacent? Lately, I've been satisfied with my art progression while still wanting to improve, but I worry I feel like I no longer to improve. I say, really indulge yourself and be happy and proud that you're satisfied. That's not being complacent. That's celebrating your milestones, and everybody has to do that. Don't worry about that. Really feel the love and embrace it, because we don't always feel satisfied. And when you do, it's awesome. Brittany says, recommend Molotow, one for all paint markers. They're refillable, and acrylic paint refills. Plus they sell empty markers to fill with your own. Yeah, I've seen Lauren use those before. I haven't actually used that brand. They're not that cheap, those markers. I mean, markers in general, they're not cheap anyway, but while I do like doing marker stuff, I usually do marker stuff when I'm traveling, doing plein air is usually when I do it the most. It's not really something I use in the studio. That's me. A lot of people really do that, but it's not for me on my high priority list of supplies to get. Well, this is a good point from Anna. I want gallery shows. I want to publish this book I'm working on. Yeah, in Art Club, we've been seeing so much progress on your graphic novel project. But this is the key word I want people to see, but I don't expect it. I just think that sometimes people go in with really high expectations and you're almost sort of screwed the second you have that, because sure, some people get really lucky and don't have to wait so long, but a lot of us do. And a lot of us do not find success right away. The problem is you always hear about the people who find success quickly. Oh my gosh, she skyrocketed out of their MFA into this New York City gallery. It's like, okay, fine. But what about all the thousands of other people who are trying to do the same thing? And it doesn't happen for them right away. Sometimes never. It really depends. And so I think a big part of it is just taming your expectations. I think ambition is wonderful and just fine to have, but expectations is where people get very frustrated, inevitably, because it just doesn't happen that fast. Kathy says, I've been working for a long time on a series that's important to me, but I'm not sure what I hope to do with it other than finish it. That's fine. I mean, not every piece you do has to have a destination. I happen to have one because that's my personal thing. I did set out initially to try to show at New York City galleries. And I did want to be a tenured professor. I mean, that went out the window. I'm not going back to that. I can tell you guys that for sure. But sometimes you just make the work for yourself, because you know something, Kathy, making a series, that really levels you up in a way that nothing else can. Because while Anna here is talking about experimentation, huge part of the joy making, you need to do a lot of that. It's very important. But when you do a series, it's like learning how to run a marathon after you've just been running 1 mile at a time. It challenges you in a very different way. And I find people who do series as an artist, they grow so much. Because when you have to like really stay with something, it really changes your perception. Like here, I drew Bulldog once. Now imagine if I decided, oh, I'm going to do a series of Bulldog drawings. I'm going to make 30 Bulldog drawings. Like I'm going to be looking at Bulldogs very differently after I've done so many of them. I'll probably have to watch a lot of Bulldog videos. Kind of obsessed with those. What funny videos do you guys watch for animals? I watch beavers and I also watch bulldogs. I just love them. They're really, really funny. But I think it's worthwhile once in a while to say, well, where am I going with this? Because sometimes just saying out loud, yeah, this is just for me. It's very validating to know concretely for this particular bunch of watercolor drawings, this is the purpose they serve. And I know it's easy to get precious about your stuff, but actually I had a friend in art school and I think he had really good advice. He said that when he finished a piece, he would say to himself, okay, I made that painting, I learned from it, I'm going to move on. Instead of saying, oh God, that painting wasn't good, I really wish I could finish it and sell it. Like that can become a big distraction. And so when he said, I was like, oh, that really makes a lot of sense, because I might make a figure drawing, it's not very good, and I could punish myself for that. Or I could say, you know what, that drawing is not good, but I learned from that experience, because I really believe every single thing you make as an artist matters. Like how many of you guys have made a piece and you didn't like it, and at the end you said, oh my God, that was a waste of time. That was a waste of art supplies, whatever you want to call it. And I understand that impulse. I've certainly felt that way myself. But in the grand scheme of things, that crappy drawing, that was a part of your evolution. And we have to make bad drawings. If you want to make good ones, nobody wakes up and just pumps out a million good drawings. Doesn't matter who you are. And having that lack of preciousness, I think, is very important to make progress. Otherwise, it's very easy to just constantly crap on yourself all the time. We also, opossum rehab videos. Is that like orangutan jungle school where they help the orangutans get back into the jungle? I'm so obsessed with that show, you guys. Just say like baby orangutans and they're all wearing diapers. It's just like the cutest thing in the world. Fainting goats? No, I have not. And we also have, okay, so Anna's saying, I've been worrying if this book is a waste of time because I don't know if I have the follow through to see it through to the finish. But you're trying, Anna, and it's fine to start a project and walk away. Do you guys remember where for like a month I was like, I'm going to be a freelance illustrator. I'm going to do movie poster illustration. I dropped it so fast. It's really stupid. But we do things like that. Like, how many of you guys have done that? Like, tried something, meh, and just kind of flaked out? I think it's okay. It's fine. We don't have to finish everything we make. It's kind of like saying, every drawing I make, I have to finish it. Like, that is so not helpful. For me, I probably only finish like, I don't know, 20% of what I begin. I just think about all the nothing sketches and drawings that have to happen in order for me to get there. I mean, if I think about the lead up to these postpartum stomachs, oh boy, there are a lot of crappy drawings that were part of that process. Okay, everybody, I have officially missed the window to go to the gym. Great. I probably shouldn't do a live stream before. I'm like, oh, I'll just hop on for 20 minutes and then I'll go to the gym. And of course, here we are 50 minutes later and I didn't go to the gym. But we're having such a good conversation. Tell me in the chat that it was worth me skipping the gym. But I didn't really because I went to the gym yesterday, right? I'm justified. See? I need validation. If I was here by myself, I would just be so pissed. I'd be like, Clara, you suck. You didn't go to the gym. That's really lame. Manette says, I started and ended multiple graphic novels, most barely started. I'm trying to focus more on making work just for and what makes me happy. Yeah, I also think sometimes there is such a thing as coming up with a project that's so big that it's almost paralyzing for a lot of people. Because I know Kat talks to people who want to publish someday in comics, and they will oftentimes just dream so big that you're like, oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. And so one of the things that she says to a lot of people is, listen, don't start a graphic novel. Draw a bunch of 4-panel comics. Do a whole bunch. And then after you've done that, ask yourself, okay, do I have something that really would warrant taking this to the next level? If you discover no, then it's okay. I think that there has to be, for a lot of circumstances, some kind of stepping stone for people. For example, one thing I tell people if they're doing a series, because we have a bunch of people in art club right now who are working or starting a series, is don't do one piece at a time. In fact, what I do is I work in sets. So let's say I want to do 15 paintings. I'll paint 3 at a time. I think it's much easier to paint in sets because inevitably when you're frustrated with one of the paintings, you can just jump to another. If you're just doing one at a time, it's very hard to get that rhythm. So there are ways to divide up your project, a big one that is feeling a little bit more manageable, because I feel that I would get overwhelmed. For me, these belly button pieces, I'm not drawing 3 at a time, but I did this on like 10 panels. And so these are just like waiting for me. And that for me feels easier because I know the surfaces are all prepared. I don't have to think about anything else. Oh, good. Yeah, I just have been doing these random live streams just when I don't want to go to the gym, apparently. I probably shouldn't do this for that reason. But if you guys like these spontaneous live streams, I'm happy to do more of them because sometimes it's just hard for me to schedule stuff. But if I'm just like, oh, I got half an hour, might as well jump in because I think it is nice for people to have a chance to just ask me questions. But I will say, if you really want to ask me questions, Art Club is the place to be because we have so many voice chats scheduled throughout the week in Art Club. Almost every day you can talk to a staff member on voice because it's not just me, Lauren, Jordan, and Deepti and Kat, they're all in Art Club as well. So this is the place if you guys like us, hopefully you do. That is the place to be. Brian, do the live stream by jogging in place, not going not going to the gym problem solve. Oh God, yeah, I don't think I have. I'd last about like 5 minutes if I tried to do that. That's a really, really funny. Hi, Amit from India. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Tell me in the comments, city, state, country, where are you? Because we have the most extraordinary global audience, and I just think it's amazing. Hey, RB Dick, welcome. Amit says, I'm just an amateur, not a BFA student. Well, there's a lot of people here who have no art school degree or experience. Tell me in the comments, raise your hand, just say me if you never went to art school, have no art degree, or anything like that. I bet you anything most people are going to say me for never having gone to art school or have no degree. Well, thank you, Zen Cory Cat. I would agree with you. Art Club is amazing. We added so many new programs to Art Club that we never had before. And then the other thing we now have is annual membership. So if you guys sign up for annual membership, you get 2 months free, which is a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Yeah, look at this. All these people who never went to art school, never got a degree. I think that's really great for us to show that. Because I know sometimes when people join our Discord or our art club, sometimes it's easy to feel very intimidated. I get it. And people say, oh God, I feel so embarrassed. I didn't go to art school. I'm like, listen, most people here did not go to art school. In fact, it's probably like 99% of people who are in our Discord probably do not have art school experience. And it's not something to ever be embarrassed about because an art school degree does not determine that you are a good or bad artist. It's just a difference in experience and training, which is quite different. All right, everybody, remember, if you buy, I can't figure out the pointing thing, you guys. This, okay? If you buy our ebook on MFAs between today and Thursday, you've got 4 days to do this. You will get access to 2 live Q&A chats. If you already have the ebook, you can pay a fee to attend the 2 live Q&A chats because now is the time. Get that information. People oftentimes they like start their application, they start the portfolio, and they haven't even gotten the information. And this is the time to get it. Thanks, Zen Cory Cass. I have 0 art school, art skill. I just joined and I feel so at home in Art Club. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.